Hey, everybody. This is Citizen Hypocrisy, and you are watching the
Music Scene!
Music Scene.
Years underneath that sky.
Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie DeGraw, and this is the Music Scene. I'm excited to be with a local Salt Lake band that's been on the scene for a very long time, Citizen Hypocrisy. Thanks, guys, for being with me here today.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us what instrument you play?
I'm Gary Russon, play the guitar.
DJ Pierno, bass guitar.
Gary Petersen, I play the drums.
That's right, Gary in the background, holding it all together. Yes.
That's him.
Now, you guys have been musicians a long time in the Utah scene, and I understand you guys have worked on other projects before getting together. How long have you been together as a band?
We have played together about a year and a half as Citizen Hypocrisy. Before that, we were in a band together called Them Changes, which was more of a blues rock band. Then before that, DJ and I, for a number of years, played in a blues band. Gary got involved in that, and then we moved on from there over the time. But these guys played together, I don't know, they've played together in projects 10 years or more ago, probably 12 years ago.
Well, you can certainly tell the sound is tight. If you were to describe the band's sound to someone that hadn't heard you before, who could you compare it to?
That'd be kind of hard to compare it to anything. It's just a culmination of so many different influences on all our parts, really.
Yeah. So what would you say the kind of music you each listen to, I understand, is a little different. So maybe each one of you can kind of tell me, what are your favorite styles of music?
Oh, God, that could go anywhere from jazz to blues to rock to funk fusion.
You like it all, basically.
Pretty much. It's easy to say what I don't like, but I won't go there.
Okay. I love a man who's honest. Okay, how about you? Any favorites?
Oh, yeah, Zeppelin, Pearl Jam. They've got to be my favorites. Yeah, they're come to find out that Pearl Jam's, second drummer who I fell in love with, his favorite drummer was Bonham, who I fell in love with. I mean, so I got to say Zeppelin and Pearl Jam, and then The Who falls into that. So I don't know. I just 70s rock, 80s rock, not so much, but 70s rock definitely.
Definitely. And it's cool because then you can hear kind of those influences in the music that you write and perform. How about you? Do you have any strong leanings towards a certain genre of music or certain bands from the past?
Mostly it's, the 70s stripped down rock vibe. That's kind of where we're at. No, but we don't play Lynyrd Skynyrd, and we will never play Stairway to Heaven and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's out. But I mean, honestly, my first album I ever bought was the soundtrack to Shaft.
There you go.
And then after that, I went to the Temptations and all those guys. And then for me, of course, that's dating me now, no doubt about it. But then I heard Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
And like a million other people, it kind of went in a new direction with the guitar and stuff. So just years before Gary got into Led Zeppelin, I was in loved Led Zeppelin and all of that kind of music. Jimmy Page. I mean, there was Robin Trower, if anybody knows who Robin Trower is. Deep Purple, that kind of a sound.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about, you guys all write your own music as well. So maybe we can talk about what gives you the inspiration to do that. And have you ever had a song hit you when you were in a funny place?
There's been a few.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we have any one way to write.
Right.
Sometimes we're just jamming.
Okay.
And the groove of the song, DJ's, he has the ability, all of a sudden just something comes out of the air in that way, as far as lyrics, when we hear some sort of tune. But for me, a lot of times it's just observations of people or places. I mean, we've got a couple of songs, Cowboy Dick. Mm-hmm. He's a real guy. He walks around downtown. I've seen him. I've seen him downtown all the time. He's still there. I need to get a picture of him.
His real name's Richard.
His real name's
Cowboy
Richard.
Richard.
Okay, Cowboy
You know,
Richard.
So that was kind of inspiration. There's a Cadillac Mama. We have a song.
I like that one.
That's a real. Well, yeah, that's a real woman,
Okay.
real person.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So as far as how we write the songs, sometimes we come in with a preconceived riff or sound. One of us can bring it in, then we just kind of put it out there, and then it just evolves. And if it happens, usually then we know we like it.
Right. And so are you saying that maybe for you guys it's not so much putting pen to paper, but maybe more the music in your head? Would that maybe be?
No putting pen to paper except when he needs to remember the lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I need
Right, we
cheat
don't
sheets.
have lyrics.
It's
Yeah.
usually scrambling around looking for a pen and something to write on so we don't forget
Yeah.
it more than being prepared. But
No, that's okay. I mean, everybody writes differently, and it's so fascinating to me how some people, the music comes first, and other people, the words come first.
A number of our best songs have just come where maybe a couple of us have been jamming, just kind of messing around, waiting for others to come into the room or whatever. And then there's a riff, and it sounds cool. And then the rest of the band, or who isn't there, jumps in, and then it goes. And then we add our input as to, the parts to it and the structure. So it happens like that quite often.
Awesome. I'm looking back. Are there any gigs that you've played that were memorable? Maybe you've opened for someone, or maybe have a funny story to share.
I'm thinking back.
Okay. What do you think?
I have to say, Young Dubliners was one of the best bands I'm opened up for. Mingo Fish Trap. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they came in, and then one of the funnest gigs I'd say we ever did was when we made it to the finals of South by Southwest.
That was fun. That was before this band. That was another band Gary and I were involved in. That was fun.
That was
Personally,
before the Olympics. Actually, when the Olympics were there, we were playing on purpose.
That's great.
Back in New York, I actually opened up for what's his name, Commander Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen.
Yes. Now
Talk about dating yourself, Gary.
That's a classic.
Again, at that
but
point,
that's a classic.
You're old.
That's a classic.
that was memorable.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember much of it at all, but it was memorable.
I'm surprised you remember that.
Well, it must have been a good concert.
Some of our best, honestly, some of our best sets have been in front of nobody or two people. It happens that way.
Yes.
And every musician probably has that kind of story. I mean, we have some funny stories. We played up we call it Morris Stock because it was a guy who asked us to play, but it was up at Spring City. It was a rave, but they wanted some bands, so they brought us up. We thought we were going to be on this nice stage. We pull into this field.
Wow.
And we think, man, look at that stage. That is going to be fun. Well, we were on two sheets of plywood nailed together.
Oh my gosh.
Extension cord coming out of the police control unit.
So every time we'd all hit, engage all the electricity, everything would go, ooh. Yeah, that was fun. But everyone was raving around us, so they thought we were great. They didn't know the difference.
That takes the cake, having to perform out in a field. I was wondering, is there any advice you'd give some of these young bands coming up that you can tell us quickly?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Oh, come on. Okay, well, I'm sure it takes a lot of perseverance.
No, it does. If you want it, do it.
Be ready to work, right?
Be ready to work, because especially in this town, it is what it is. So just if you love playing music, play it. Don't get your expectations too high. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, how about let's talk about some of your music that's coming out now, some of your plans you've got for this next year, maybe some of your goals real quick before we wrap it up.
Let's see. I guess within the year we released a CD. I think there's 17 songs or something on it. That's kind of a compilation of different sounds that we'd had over a period of time. And we recorded them all, from some heavier rock to, we even have a country tune on there, a little funk in there, some blues. So it's kind of a mixture of all sorts of stuff.
What's the name of this album?
It's just self-titled, Citizen Hypocrisy. And of course, we have some live stuff that we have recorded over time that we just put on our websites or media stuff. And but we have some songs right now that we've basically worked out the structures. We just need to get them recorded, and we're not sure. It's just how many and how we want to release them.
Right. Well, that's great. You guys have certainly been prolific songwriters and hanging together, and you've got that tight sound. Don't go away. Citizen Hypocrisy will be right back on the music scene with more great music.
In my skin, come on, baby, let me in. Baptize my fire, I smell the weed, I know you, baby, by your Facebook feed. You're the trick, I wanna put you in